Yeah, baby, Muffin Top Gang. What the fuck, man? Why is it doing that? Restream has it under podcasts and talk shows.
Elite POV coming live to your area on twitch.tv. Let's fucking go! We are your number one place for everything in the world of all elite wrestling. And just remember, when you're with us, you'll always be elite.
Yo, it's clear to see when you open up your feed that ain't nobody better than Elite POV. We bring the heat to your screen every week, cause ain't nobody better than Elite POV. So understand every time that we speak that ain't nobody better than Elite POV. Our 3 letters is all you'll ever need, cause ain't nobody better than Elite POV.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to Elite POV, where it's scissor time, and you know what that means. I'm one of your hosts, Phil Cataldo, but you can call me Philium. Alongside the draw, Jackie Rodriguez. What is up?
What is up?
No one saw you do that in the beginning because I thought you were going to start talking, and I didn't transition the screen yet. So I'm watching Discord.
the ball.
I did not drop the ball because how the fuck was I supposed to know this man's going to start the show?
Do better, Kyle. Just do better.
Kimmy, I'll turn your camera off. Don't talk to the producer like that.
Oh, stars.
Here we go.
God. Well,
Hey,
I
Jackie,
mean,
what's up?
what's up? I mean, we're starting off with a bang here. Apparently, mommy ass is back.
Hey,
for,
mommy ass.
for those of you who know, so scissor me, mommy ass. I'm sure my parents will be real freaking proud of that.
Yeah.
that
Wow,
title.
you just said that on a show your parents watched.
Wow.
With no
And-
context whatsoever.
No context.
What
The
did
other
my daughter
innocent
call
voice on this
herself?
show- Yeah. The other innocent voice on the show, which will slowly corrupt just like Jackie, Miss Kimmy Sage, what is up?
Hi.
Nice
I'm excited
attire.
to be here.
You fucking Mark!
Hold up. Can
No.
I pump the brakes? Did you just call her Kimmy Sage?
Yeah.
I think the AWF is going to ask for a
The
cease and
Kimmy
desist
Sage.
on
That's
that
what
one.
you're known to on this show. Kimmy Rollins, Kimmy Sage.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, okay, so I'm going to talk about my hoodie. So I asked Kyle
Mark.
if I could change. And Kyle was like, no, you can't change. And then Phil was like, no, you can't change either. So here I am in my Monday Night Raw sweater, and I don't care what any of you all say, because this hoodie is really comfortable. So,
Yo, your Monday Night Raw fans were coming for me today on Twitter. Shout out to Carrie in the chat right now, calling me 900K Phillium because sure as fuck got a lot of replies when I said AEW is only for fucking diehard fans. Under 900K? We blowing my load on this fucking laptop in my mom's basement. Fuck you, bro. I don't care if 4 people watched it and the 4 people are on this show right now
Yo, am I
because
gonna
it's
say it?
still the better
I'm
wrestling
gonna say
show.
it.
I'm sorry.
Fuck the Fed.
Fuck the Fed. Do I watch the Fed? Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
Still fuck 'em.
we're back.
But do I watch the Fed? Yes. But at the same time, fuck the
Yeah,
Fed.
but fuck them. Fuck the Fed, but I watch the
Hey,
Fed.
hey,
right?
we say the same thing about AEW too.
Unbelievable.
It's like sometimes AEW does something wrong. We're like, yeah, well, fuck them, man.
Listen, it was fuck AEW for a couple months this
Yeah.
summer, but another Phil, who's a fucking asshole, got the fuck up out of there, and now we're back to normal. Everybody's happy again. Kenny
Now-
Omega's back, kissing goodbye and goodnight. And we're
now
good.
you're in Puerto Rico.
I'm in Puerto Rico now, I guess. I don't know. Maybe this is where Santana went. He's healing.
Wepa.
There you go. If you guys
What is
saw my
happening?
Spotify year-end wrap-up, 4 of the 5 artists I have are Spanish, yet my genre was
Shocker.
hip-hop. Explain that one to me. And the other voice you hear is not in Puerto Rico.
No,
Mr. Kyle Masters, what is that?
I'm in Canada, eh?
Yeah, right?
Just
How's it
living in my igloo right now, man. Got my Mountie.
The question
outside.
that everybody
My
wants to
Mountie
ask you
outside.
and everybody wants to know, have you started watching Andor?
No.
God damn it.
I
Kyle.
told Phil this the other day. I'm like, it's gotten so bad that I've started rewatching Superstar. I could be watching Endor right now.
It's really good, man. I'm listening. I'm behind as well, but I'm like on episode 7, I think.
Yeah.
And another question I have to ask you: how is the weather up by you? Because we're getting killed with a rainstorm the next week.
It's 3 degrees below
so
freezing.
it must be snowing. Yeah, it must be snowing.
I've
right
learned
now.
not to say Celsius to Americans. So
Okay, yeah, 'cause we're
I'm just gonna go from the freezing level and tell you how many degrees below or how many degrees above it is.
that requires math. I don't do math.
Yeah, you're. I'm just gonna leave.
I mean, you're the college student here, so if anybody should be still doing,
I'm not
math,
gonna
it's
touch
you.
that. I'm gonna move past. that.
Yo, I don't take a math class. I take all sports classes. I take sports tests, do sports projects. It is living the life. I actually applied for
Sports.
graduation the other day too. So
You
I'm
sports
out of
mark.
here in May.
You
Wow.
sports
Listen.
mark, but congratulations.
Round of
Thank
applause.
you.
Congratulations.
I think I'm
The
ready.
first one on Elite POV to graduate. It is so beautiful. Did you guys graduate college?
I did.
I
Well,
didn't,
am.
go.
We're
I
going.
didn't even go.
I went 1 semester, dropped out. What about you, Kyle?
I went to police college and found out I didn't want to be a cop, so I didn't finish.
Thank God. That's why we're friends. Because
Yeah.
Kyle is not a police
Yeah,
officer.
I hate
Woo!
it.
Shout out to Mama POV in the chat.
Thank God.
But if it's your first time listening to this craziness, welcome. We do the show every Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern on twitch.tv/ElitePOV and youtube.com/ElitePOV. If you guys want to find us on social media, it's at ElitePOV. Everywhere. If you like what you're hearing, like what you're seeing, patreon.com/ElitePOV if you guys want to support us. As seen today on our Twitter feed, we just announced just showed the new logo to Kyle and Jackie's brand new show that will be coming to YouTube with bonus content from that show coming to our Patreon. Me and Kimmy have a show that's coming out soon, so stay tuned for that logo as well. We have our new logo that will debut on the first show of the new year for us, so you want to make sure you pay attention to that.
Yeah, we're going to like a brand approach. If anyone doesn't know, I know like we've kind of mentioned it. Elite POV is going to be a main brand here, and we're going to have a lot of other shows on it. Me and Jackie's show, like Phil said, it will be on YouTube, but if you're a Patreon subscriber, you get it. We haven't decided either 4 or 5 days early, so you'll get to see these episodes early.
Get
Make
that
sure you
exclusive.
hop on that Patreon train. The Patreon's all going to be revamped. Beginning of 2023 is going to be a whole new look for Elite POV. And thank you for everyone that's here now and anyone new. You're getting on at the right time.
Yes.
We want to grow this community. I think Kyle and Jackie have a great idea for their show, so make sure you stay tuned to that. That show is going to be a lot of fun. It's going to bring a lot of good just juju to the wrestling community because it is fucking awful like 99% of the time. So we're definitely excited about that. And we do have merchandise as well as the new kind of approach to the brand. We will be having some new shirts go up there and reworking that website as well. That is shopelitepov.com. We have fixed the link. Everything is working. Everything is good. So make sure you guys head on over there if you guys want to support us. If not, we appreciate subs, cheers, anything for the people who are watching live. Or if you just want to drop a subscribe on YouTube, we're trying to get those numbers up to try to deliver you guys better content on YouTube as well. So it is free. Drop a follow, drop a subscribe on any of our platforms. We definitely really appreciate that. But I want to jump into a great episode of, I was about to say Elite POV, a great episode of AEW Dynamite that happened this week. The first thing we got to talk about.
Oh, there's a few things.
I think it's the picture of the show. It's the first thing you guys are going to see when it comes to this episode. And
I thought we were going to go into other things, like some other non-Dynamite stuff that's been said that people may want to hear our opinion on.
Oh, you know what? You're right. Let's start there.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Kyle, start it off.
Ayo.
Dave Meltzer.
Oh god.
We're starting off hot.
Everyone's favorite person in the wrestling
I don't have enough alcohol for this.
What the hell, man? Some of the comments he made this week, and then some. I don't know. There's two things. One, I think, like he said two things. One, which I didn't really like, which had nothing to do with Regal. The other one was about Regal, but I don't want to say here. The whole Regal situation, okay? I have no input on it right now. I don't want to have an input on it. I don't want to say what I'm thinking because, Kimmy, don't do that. Because I honestly think no one knows. And the only people that know are Regal and Tony Khan. And if he is going back to the Fed, Triple H. Those are the only people that actually know. Because it's been so fucking back and forth the last week. It's 3 years. It's 1 year. Oh, it's 3 years, but he has a clause. Oh, it's only 2 weeks. Like, there's been so many different stories with William Regal that I don't believe any source out there right now. Until it fucking happens and I see it on my TV, then I'll believe it. I'm at that point with the whole William Regal situation. And honestly, anytime I see someone talking about it on Twitter, I instantly just log off Twitter. I'm like, I don't want to see it anymore. I'm so sick and tired of this situation. Like, oh, they did such a bad job of writing him off TV. We don't even know if he's been written off TV. We don't know what he's leaving. We don't. We're basing it off people like inside sources. We don't know. Those sources could
fucking insiders are the worst. I swear to God.
Just wait.
Insulted.
I'm just so sick and tired of it. And look,
well, the good thing is, if he goes back, right? Kimmy was right. Okay, but if he doesn't go back, he stays, and we're happy.
You know what? I'd be happy for him either way. Yeah, my opinion is that I think it's a big dropped ball if Regal goes, but at the same time, it's like if that's what he wants to do, It's not like Tony Khan's going to chain him to a chair and say, you can't leave. He's going to let him go.
Maybe. We do know what Tony Khan's into.
But they don't do that here. This is
Phil.
he ain't Vince. He's not even like, oh, well, Regal, actually, you weren't on TV for this amount of your contract, so we're going to add these days to your contracts. That's not a thing here. No. It just pisses me right the fuck off. And then what was the other thing that Meltzer said that got everyone going nuts?
Adam Page, he wanted more context.
Oh, yeah, the context. I'm like, that led to, that ultimately led to Phil's tweet.
Boy.
So, let's talk about it, right? So I made a tweet earlier, and maybe I should bring it up so I could read the exact words. Okay. So I'm just filling time until I find the tweet. You know it's here. I tweet a lot. We're getting deep.
Quote, guys.
The exact quote that I said. A lot of tweets about Andor today. Okay. A lot of tweets about Andor. Making fun of people.
I'll start it this weekend. All right,
I got it. Wait. Where is it?
Did Elon Musk interfere again?
Okay. Yeah. So it says AEW is not for casual fans. If you don't know a story, it's your job to go back and figure it out. That's why it's the alternative. It's for the diehards who pay attention and watch every week. So yeah, they didn't give more context to Mox and Hangman because we already knew. So here's what I meant by that. If you were watching every week, which they would assume you are, you already know what's going on. So you're not a part of this conversation. As far as the people who responded to that with the 900K, whatever, if you are a new viewer and you turn on a show midway through, you're like, I don't know what's going on. So what do? You do research. You go back, you look online, you ask a friend who maybe watches every week. You can ask us. We do a show every week, right? There's the community's out there. It is an easy Google search away. You can figure it out, whether it's on Elevation or Dark or the Rampage that fucking is probably the worst Rampage ever booked. And I don't care if every match is 10 stars. And you couldn't pay me to watch that shit. It's like Chinese torture with the fucking dropping the water on your fucking head. No, can't do it. All right. But what I'm saying is this thing of like, we have to make shows for casuals, right? Somebody commented and was like, well, it's about the casuals. No, it's not. WWE does that. And that's their game. That is how they book. That's how they will always book. And that's fine. They're very, very good at what they do, right? But if another company does what WWE does, it's just a ripoff and it's not as good. And we don't want to see that. I don't want to see Dustin Rhodes out there every week or fucking Jeff Jarrett or these old timers because that's who the casuals know. No, I want to see the new faces and the new people so that when you turn on, you go, wow, the Elite and Death Triangle. I don't know who any of these guys are. Let me go back and find out who they are. That's how I got into Kenny after seeing him with wrestle that match against Okada at Wrestle Kingdom the first time they fought. And then you go in and you go back, you watch the old stuff. If you're a diehard wrestling fan, that's what you do. This isn't crazy talk because NXT was made for diehard fans too. NXT would take 4 weeks of television in 2 nights, sometimes one night, but mostly 2 nights. And then they would air over 4 weeks. So whatever wasn't recorded, they didn't go back and go, hey, before the 4 weeks, this happened. They assumed you were watching. And if you weren't, when it was important, they'll go back. Like I'm sure that when Moxley and Hangman finally face-to-face actually have a real fight, there'll be a promo package and we'll see when Hangman got the concussion in the ring.
They're just in a feud. Like, why does Meltzer act like he didn't know what was going on?
And from what I heard, right, I'm not the best at listening to commentary, right? After the years of having JR mess everything up, I'm not the best at listening to commentary, so I phase them out a lot. But from what I hear, everybody's telling me, because I'm listening to people, is Excalibur call people up. You have to listen to the commentary, you have to listen to the cues, and you have to go into it as a super fan. That's what these shows are booked for. And then as far as booking in general, I saw people complaining about the trios match. Like, we know it's 7 and we know it's wrestling, so it's probably most likely gonna go segment 7. So like, just enjoy a great match. It's fucking free television. If you don't like it, you could turn it off. But instead, they're giving us these high-level matches that are like one better than the other every week for free, and people are still complaining about it. And Meltzer's a fucking idiot because he's doing that just to pop his audience, because Meltzer, of course, watches every week because he reports on it every week. So he knows what's going on. He's just trying to gain like interest in his audience to have us fighting amongst each other to build his ratings up, because everyone's going to talk about him. Everyone's going to tag that clip that he put up, and it just gets him more of a rating, which is stupid. I mean, it's good on his part, but it's also something that we don't do here. We're not trying to clickbait you guys.
We're not like
We're
Eric
not trying
Bischoff.
to pop a rating. Yeah,
No,
who gives a
we're not
fuck,
doing
right?
that.
We're fans just like you. We're not better than any of you guys, right? No matter what the new ending of the show is gonna say, okay? But like we're in this together, so let's enjoy it, right? It's just one of those things. I don't know. But what do you think, Kimmy? As a new person on the show, have to deal with this bullshit every week now.
So I'll say a couple things. So the first thing I'll say is I actually used Meltzer in an example in one of my classes a month ago because we were talking about unethical reporters. And I was like, oh my God, I have the perfect person. Let's talk about Dave Meltzer. And my teacher literally like Googled Dave Meltzer, put it up on the smart board. And he was like, oh my God, this guy's so stupid. And I go, yeah, this is what we have to deal with every week. So thank you for feeling our sympathy and pain. I appreciate
Thank
it.
you, Mrs.
So
Smith. I don't know your teacher's name is.
It's a dude and it's my advisor,
Mr.
but
Smith,
you know,
my bad.
it's
Mr. Smith.
Mr. Smith.
I mean, I can't be sure, so I'm not gonna judge.
Yeah.
No, I know. But the other thing I will say too is like I didn't watch Dynamite until tonight because I was at basketball on Wednesday and I had the live stats like, you know, up on the tablet where I was working, which is a whole other issue, but whatever. So when I saw that Hangman returned, I was like, oh my God, that makes so much sense. Like what a perfect way for Hangman to come back because the last match was with Moxley and then he got hurt and we didn't really get a finish. So this is like their continuation. So I was like, this makes so much sense. So when you guys told me that Meltzer was complaining, I was like, this guy is so stupid, but he's like the most not respected, but like most well-known like wrestling journalist. And I'm like, how the hell is he complaining about this where it makes perfect sense for like why this is happening? And the last thing I'll say about Regal is it doesn't matter if I'm right or wrong. Like if I'm right, that's amazing. If not, I don't care. But I will say the thing I did hear is that it's a 1-year deal and that they offered him his old job back as VP of scouting. So if that's
Which is
Which
If
I
he
don't
was
believe
going
until
back,
I
that's
see
what
it.
he's doing.
Don't believe until I see
I
it.
was just
it's believable.
saying.
But my thing is like it's just like it's Meltzer and like listen, we love Fightful here. We love the work that they do, especially Sean Ross Sapp.
Mhm.
And Sean Ross never tweets stuff like that, right? That's why I love the guy. That's why I'm a Patreon for Fightful. But like when it comes to Meltzer, in my opinion, unless he's breaking news, quotation marks for the audio listeners, I don't care what he has to say. I don't want to hear your weekly thoughts on the product because clearly everything you do is like in the gimmick of you're like this dirt sheet guy and you're like the guy, right? So like if you're not talking about this backstage stuff, then I don't care. So they didn't give enough context. Fuck you. You don't give enough context when you don't cite your sources and then your information ends up
Except
being
they
wrong.
did. They did.
Oh my
remember-
God. They
Well, remember
they gave
remember-
enough.
Remember the thing too when he was like, "Oh my God, I'm breaking this huge WWE scoop," and it was literally like the press conference to announce Reigns and Paul, and he was like, "This is gonna be
Yeah, like-
game changing." I was like, "What is so game changing?"
It's all clickbait media, which is yet again
Floyd
what
said
we will
it
never
best in the
do.
chat. He said it earlier, and I'm like, it's true. Wrestling is a TV show. You don't tune in half like a new TV show in the season 4, episode 6, and be like,
Yeah.
"Oh, they didn't give me enough context of what happened." No one does that.
And I get it's
Right.
wrestling, right? It's constantly changing. The storylines are changing. People are doing this, people are doing that, but it's kind of the fun of it, right? The fun of wrestling is not knowing what's going on and giving you, kind of inspiring you to go back and learn, right? What do you think, Jackie?
Well, I mean, a lot has already been said that I can kind of just piggyback off of at this point, but you guys know that it's very rare for me to like get super heated off of some wrestling banter that's going on, but I immediately came into the group chat and was just like, I got to go off on this because this to me is the dumbest shit ever.
And we were like,
Because-
go off Queen.
Because
Yes.
honestly, like
Yes.
wrestling is the only show that I can think of, the only weekly episodic series in which it's held to this kind of standard where it's expected to give context on a weekly basis. Yes, when you have like a show like a Game of Thrones or something like that, they're going to give you a previously on in the beginning of an episode just to kind of like brief you on what you may have missed from like last week's episode or something like that, just to give you a little bit of context. When has wrestling ever done that? And it's just like, why are we now at this stage of the game? Like, he's been in the business for how long? You know that wrestling is not the type of show to do that. Why are you expecting Excalibur? Like I said, is Excalibur going to do his auctioneer style rant and just say, oh my God, Hangman Adam Page is coming out here because in Philadelphia last year, he's the one that pushed Moxley off the ladder. And then there's the context of the freaking feud in the beginning of the feud. And then about a month ago, Moxley and Hangman had a match and Hangman was concussed, and this is like, and he's coming back for revenge. But like, he's supposed to do that in the context of like, what, 30 seconds to give people the entire freaking history of their feud? No, it's your responsibility that if you're tuning in for the first time and you have zero context of the feud and you're interested and you're like, hey, this is kind of cool, I want to know more about this, then you go back and you try to like research and you find out more about it. It's really that simple. So to say like, oh, this is completely garbage because, they really didn't do a good job explaining, when he just kind of gave enough context, I'm like, where is the logic? And it's that absence of logic for somebody that has been in this industry for that long, that just like, it just throws me and it just boggles my mind. And this is somebody that's supposed to be as respected, and revered in this, as in this industry, and has such a platform, and says things like this, that I'm like, I guess everybody, is entitled to an opinion, but just like when the opinion is so like out of left field like that, it's just like, where's it justified? And then God forbid somebody like you comes out and tweets about it and, has some type of, context and opinion about it. Then everybody wants to come out and, give you the third degree. But I'm like, where was that third degree for the original opinion behind it? It's nonsensical at this point.
The whole thing is like, and it's one of my biggest pet peeves in life, is when people aren't logical in the way that they look at things, right? So WWE is the casual fan celebrity. They want to make as much news as possible company. So when Roman Reigns fights Logan Paul, it's not shocking. That's what WWE does. And it's at a Saudi show. It all makes sense. Like, that's what the company does. You could love it. You could hate it. That is who they are. Triple H is in power. A lot of us, including myself, thought huge changes. No, the WWE is still the WWE. There'll be a little bit of changes here and there where he can, but for the most part, it's a giant company, whatever. AEW is a company that from day one has been the BTE company. And for people who don't understand that, a lot of these storylines come from BTE or are filtered through BTE. And that's the point. Everything that has ever happened with the Dark Order happened on BTE first. So if they're doing storylines like that from a YouTube show, and especially like you see with like the Eddie Kingston stuff, or with now Kip Sabian and Alex Reynolds on Dark, or they're using Dark to build up Athena and Mercedes, and they're not even putting it on Dynamite. They're doing stuff like that, like on YouTube shows. This company, that is the company model. Like, you can watch Dynamite every week and have a great time because at face value, it's an incredible show every week. But if you want to dig deeper, there's all these other avenues that will improve the product that you're watching on Wednesdays. And that's AEW's business model from day one. So to bitch and moan that they're not giving you enough context is only your fault. It's like, because like, I didn't even know all the stuff that Carrie was telling me earlier, that Kimmy and Jackie were just saying. But like, I still enjoyed it.
Fair. When you compare it to Star Wars, right? You watch the main movies, right? But if you want more context, you watch the TV shows.
Yeah, or you read the books, or you do this. And like, you have experts in the field. And I know wrestling is fake and all this stuff, but it's a TV show and it is a property. And if there are experts and historians in the field that you can go to, and unlike these giant properties like Star Wars, these people are your friends. These people are on social media tweeting every day. They don't have to be Meltzer. They could be Carrie. They could be Jackie. Like, I mean, it is what it is. Just not Kimmy, though, because she's a mark.
I am not a mark.
We're all marks, Kimmy. You see this fucking hat I'm wearing? Mark.
You see the hat I'm wearing? I'm representing AEW. That's me right here. I'm number
you
one
see my
mark.
Shirt? I'm a mark for my own.
You're a mark from Nork.
Yeah, Kimmy, what AEW merch do you have on?
I have my Grand Slam chair that I'm sitting on.
Good point.
Okay, fair.
You win this battle. You win this battle.
For now.
You rich kid who has the fucking chair.
That's not my fault.
Yo, you have two of them?
I do.
She has
You
5.
want to sell me one? Cool. We'll talk.
How much?
We'll talk
Well,
after the show.
We'll talk business
Well,
after the
funny
show.
enough, Full Gear, there were 2 guys that came up to me and my dad asking for our Full Gear chairs, and one of them was like, "I'll give you $70." I was like, "My chair is not worth $70. Okay, you're gonna make me a
$70.
bargain."
First of all, talking
Oh,
about
I yelled at
logically,
them.
you're walking up to a father and what looks like his 10-year-old daughter, and you're trying to take her chair away from her.
No,
That's
someone
messed up.
yelled at me. Someone yelled at me. Like the second people that came up to us, because I said, "Oh, we're not selling them," and the guy was like, "I wasn't talking to you," and I go, "It's my chair. Who do you think you're talking to?"
Wow.
So I was
Listen,
fighting people
Kimmy.
in New Jersey.
Kimmy has not only herself gotten in trouble, but as we found out on Dynamite, and Kyle, we can go back to other news if there is, but I want to talk about this now. Kimmy got a certain group of women in trouble, and Jade referenced the situation on Dynamite this week. The Jade Championship celebration. She talks about the baddies still hanging out with Kiera Hogan, who were hanging out with Kimmy at WrestleCade this past weekend. I'm just saying, Kimmy, what do you have to say for yourself?
You're bad influence,
Look.
Kimmy.
Look. Okay, I talked this out. I found out the baddie problems. I was on a mission this past weekend. My job was to find out the problems, and they don't have a beef with each other. They have a beef with Jade. Because Jade is the one that fired Kiera. Layla and Red Velvet didn't fire Kiera. So the problem is with Jade and Kiera. So when they decide to settle that beef, then maybe we could all have a nice family reunion. But we had a great time at WrestleCade, by the way. I'm glad that Jade referenced us. But
Us, because of course, Kimmy, if you guys don't follow Kimmy on social media, she's been dubbed the little baddie. So
Little
I'm just
baddie.
saying,
Wow.
I am
Little
the
baddie.
4th. I am the
little
4th.
baddie.
You're a little shit
Listen.
disturber. That's what you are. You're starting shit in this group here.
Listen,
Kyle, you're a
Nyla
little
Rose said
shit.
the
You're a little
same
shit.
thing.
That's who you are. You little shit.
No, Nyla Rose said the same thing to me.
She almost
'cause
put you through
when
a table.
I know, and then she threw on my face. Like I couldn't win at WrestleCade. But yeah, Jade, get your shit together with Kiera Hogan. Then maybe
I wouldn't be
then
calling
maybe
out
we'll
Jade.
talk.
I
What
was
are
about
you
to say,
doing?
don't be calling out Jade. You already got it from Nyla. I wouldn't get it from Jade.
She's
Yeah,
like-
Jade
And
will
Thunder.
rip you limb from limb.
It's like David and Goliath. That's like the actual David and Goliath when you guys stand next to each other. God.
Listen, she's fighting
like-
with my people.
Yeah, you're gonna have to defend them because it looks like we're getting further with this Bow Wow Jade thing. Now, me and Kyle, we were talking about it as we were watching it live with Jackie, and it's one of those things where it's like, I know Sasha's a long shot, right?
Yeah.
But like, what if it was? So like, like we're connecting the pieces because Bow Wow is Snoop Dogg's cousin or nephew or something, hence Bow Wow being his rap name. And Sasha's also his cousin. So Bow Wow keeps saying, I'm gonna bring somebody, I'm gonna see you soon. Obviously, Bow Wow's not gonna fight Jade. They haven't done intergender wrestling in this company yet. I doubt that Bow Wow versus Jade is gonna be the headlines that this company wants.
No.
So Kyle, are you with me? Do you think maybe we get the legit? What does she sell?
See,
Weed?
is it
CBD?
It's CBD.
The legit CBD seller, Mercedes.
Oh my god.
It's so tough, right? Because like, if a couple of things weren't happening in the next couple of months, I'd probably say yes for sure. But I'm still on the couple of percentage train because Rumble's around the corner, Mania's around the corner. Who knows what's going on with her? There's all that rumor talk of like January is going to be like the contract end date that she currently has with WWE, and that's when we're going to get it. I mean, they could long build this Bow Wow and Jade thing up until then, and it'd be really cool. In the end, it'd be really, really cool if this leads to Mercedes coming into AEW, which would be a massive like it's just as big as when Punk came into the company.
It would
if
be,
not
yes.
bigger. Like she is a massive star currently, one of the best women's wrestlers out there, and a massive star in Disney right now, and among other things. She is a really, really big name. It would be really cool.
I think it'd be as big as Hogan going to WCW.
Yeah.
Because it's one of those things of like, oh, you left that company to come here.
And like, what if right now Jade's at what, 46? What if she's about to get the 50 and it's Mercedes and she doesn't get the 50 and drops the belt to Mercedes? Like that would be
Maybe.
a really cool story. And again, it's a
man.
long shot, but it's a really cool idea. It's weird if they do what they're doing right now and it leads to like Bow Wow introducing Kiera, and it's like, okay, sure, that's cool for Kiera, and she's getting the shot, but like, it's like what we've said in the show. It's like a deflated balloon. It's like it's just you don't get. You're like, like everyone's reaction is not gonna be like, oh, it's gonna be,
Yeah, the best thing in that case is if they extend it long enough, maybe Sasha debuts in WWE. So by the time they bring out somebody, people aren't expecting Sasha because she's already. I don't know.
That's what you would have
What
to
do you
do
think,
because
Jackie?
if not, it's
Jackie, you're the most logical one here.
No, I mean, it's like when you get into all this fantasy booking situations and stuff like that, theoretically, it all sounds like so exciting to think about the prospect because that would be really major because she comes across as somebody that would be like a WWE lifer. She's a major star over there. She's always, been showcased very well. Her fans are freaking rabid, as we all know. So anywhere that she goes, people are going to follow her and she's going to have that star power with her no matter where she shows up. But all this back and forth just always leads me to believe that she's headed back home, so to speak. But if we were just, thinking in terms of the theoreticals and stuff like that, that would be a huge freaking way to get the belt off of Jade. And it's almost like the way that they've built up Jade's reign and all the opponents that she's had and everybody that she's destroyed in her wake. Who at this point can you get to take the freaking belt off of her? I mean, there have been the rumblings of like, okay, well, maybe they're waiting for Statlander. Statlander's probably going to be out for another 4 to 6 months at this rate. So it's like, what do you do in the interim? Like, how long can you possibly drag this out to give Jade a believable opponent to take the belt off of her? So in a perfect world, if a Mercedes were to show up, that would be like a no-brainer. But I really, like, in my heart of hearts, I just don't see it happening.
I think that's the thing too, is like when you really think of like all the female free agents out there right now, it's really just her and Naomi. Like there's Tegan, but did Tegan fix her visa issues? Is she gonna be one of the ones to go back? So I think that's the other thing you have to take into consideration too. There's not a lot of female big name free agents out there left. So if it's not Mercedes, then who is the one? Because I think we can all agree she's not getting to 50.
So we had Ascended and Ant in the chat. Shout out to Ant. Talking about forfeiting the belt and going for the women's title, kind of like the way that Impact Wrestling does the thing, which I don't like. I know you said it, Kimmy. I don't like it.
Yeah, Kimmy,
I don't like
you
it.
said it. We just don't like it.
I don't like it because she's the first ever champion, and she has given this belt so much prestige with attaching her undefeated streak and her rising star to it. So wrestling goes the way wrestling goes. You make a star, you use that star to create another star. So use Jade that you've built over a year now, 2 years, to become this unbeatable performer to put over someone else. Obviously, we would love it to be Mercedes. Obviously, I would love it even more if it was someone like Chris Statlander, but like Jackie says, who knows when she's coming back? It's her second knee injury, in the last 3 years. So maybe 4 to 6 months, maybe more. We don't know, right? And the way like Athena turned heel, so it's not going to be her. And there's just a lot of moving pieces. Ruby's back and she's feuding with Ty. So maybe Ruby, I don't know. But there's all this stuff that's going on.
I think we're missing one if depending on where their direction she's going to go with Saraya.
Yeah. Or Britt herself. Right? I think
that's long term. That's going to be a long term wait. We know Hater.
Oh, Adam was saying maybe Willow. Willow would be great. But the whole thing, I think at the end of this is, it is clear that they are slowly breaking the baddies up because Jade does not need them anymore. And the baddies as their own entity is cool and great. They're great TV. You have 3 interesting women. Layla Gray came in as kind of like a stand-in. And I think she's done a great job at the little opportunities that she has, but she definitely fits in right away with them, right? We see how popular they are at the convention scene because they're 3 beautiful women. So it's like you use that on television. And see, Red Velvet's a great wrestler. Yeah. Kira Hogan's a great wrestler. I haven't seen Layla Gray wrestle that much, but she's a decent wrestler.
Yeah.
as of right now. So it's like you could tell that great story, but can they get Kiera Hogan to the popularity that she had when she was in Impact Wrestling?
Even
when
if
she was like
her,
one of the biggest stars there.
People are not gonna. I as much as she's talented, I can't see people like. You're too far into Jade's title run to hand it off to like a Kiera Hogan or someone that hasn't been built up, because it's right now it's got to be a very big star, someone who's already established, someone who's already a big name, or what? Like it can't be anybody else. There's no other pick. It's someone who has a name like a Mercedes or a Saraya or a Britt Baker. It's one of those three. You can't lose it. Or I know Statlander would be there, but again, her injury is. I highly doubt they're just gonna play around until Statlander's back. Like, because Jay's just gonna keep falling down the popularity ladder. As much as she is a big star, it's just like we saw the segment this week. Like it was great, but like the crowd wasn't 100% invested in it.
It's just like
she'll run out of people.
Yeah.
When it gets to a point where you're like, it's so predictable that they're gonna win that you could miss it. I'll go up to the bathroom now. We saw it at All Out. I'm not All Out, at Full Gear. We talked about it. And it's really sad. But the other thing that came out of Dynamite this week that's got a lot of people talking, and that is, of course,
Jeff Jarrett tonight.
MJF. No. MJF changing the belt to the big blueberry belt. Or Burberry belt, not blueberry.
That big-ass purple belt.
Big-ass blueberry belt. No, big-ass Burberry belt. Can you tell that I'm one of the pores that MJF talks about? Because I don't even know what
one of the pores. Yeah.
Oh,
right?
The disgusting pores.
Yeah, the disgusting pores.
That disgusting pores. I'm one of them because I messed the name up. But Jackie, what do you think of this new belt design? Are you loving it? Do you think it's the perfect thing to give a heel MJF to kind of piss people off, and then also talk about all the Regal stuff with how he attacked him?
Man, so I mean, in terms of the belt itself, it is perfection in the sense that it is horribly obnoxious and it suits him, because it's like, I mean, it was so predictable in a sense. Like you knew as soon as they pulled that cover off of it, it was going to be a Burberry belt. There was no other way to go with it. And as soon as I saw it, I'm just like, Jesus Christ. Like, it's just, it's so bad looking. It's well done, but it's bad looking. And I'm like, it's just MJF being the obnoxious heel that he is. It works. It works for him. And I already can't wait till somebody beats him for it so that they can go back to the old one.
I saw a comment on Twitter that popped the hell out of me. Somebody was like, I'm surprised they didn't put a spinner on it.
Oh my God.
Can you imagine? Oh my God. That would have been hilarious.
But no, like this whole segment, I'll get the cons out of the way first. And the only con that I will say
cons?
is
the Nick and Tony cons?
The Nick and Tony con that I was about to say that MJF loves to talk about and loves to throw he loves to throw that Nick con reference out there. The only con that I'll say is that MJF, and I don't know if it's because he's still as good as he is, he's still a young guy and he's still trying to find his footing. I think that his segment could stand to be about 5 minutes shorter. Mm-hmm. And he could still say exactly what he needs to say in just to condense it a little bit, because it does run a little bit longer. And I'm like, it's dragging. And I know that people could argue oh, well, he's a heel, he's going to take up as much time as he feels like he needs to. And he's just going to piss people off in that sense. But I was like, no, he's doing a little bit too much. But
well, dude, here's a quick question. Do you think that when people who have earned the right to go out there and cut a promo without like a Jericho, or I'm sure Punk could do it, or a Moxley or somebody, they go yo, you got to hit 3 points. And when you hit the 3 points, that's when we know to wrap up. Do you think that MJF kind of has that liberty where it's it's a 10-minute window, right? We want you to do it in 7, but as long as you hit your 3 points, you could go from 7 to 10. Do you think maybe that, because it seemed like he got kind of flustered with the crowd not reacting fully to it at first, and then he was like, oh yeah, Regal, I forgot to tell you, do you feel like he was kind of winging it out there?
There's almost if I were to compare it to something, there's something in a theatrical sense, the pause for reaction, and he does it a little too long. Like he goes and he stops between pauses, and it's not like a pause like he's thinking about what he's going to say next. It's just like he's dragging it out for dramatic effect, but he's doing it too long. And so it sounds like he's just kind of just dragging it out for the sense of just dragging it. And it comes across as just like, all right, buddy, I need you to like get your cues, like get them a little bit faster. And he can execute it because he has done it in the past where he's in his rhythm and he's getting to the point a lot faster and it's coming across very, very concise. This one just felt like it felt long. So that was my only complaint about it. But I just like the fact that did you guys notice that when he came out, he threw his gum at a kid? Like he literally took gum out of his mouth and freaking threw it at it. He found a child and threw it at him. Yeah. I'm like,
you see the dad get mad? Like the kid's father get mad? Like, I'm bro, like, again.
Are you new here? Are you new here? It's just
it's like the people that complain at the meet and greets when MJF does something like that. Like, you know what you're paying for. Don't be stupid.
You think the dad went on Twitter and was like, I wish they would have gave me more context and told me that MJF is a bad boy.
You know what? I agree with Meltzer.
But no, I'm like, but MJF, he did a good job because he got his heat back because for about a month there leading up into the actual match with Moxley, a lot of people were like behind him and cheering him and stuff like that. So the lines were getting blurred a little bit, but the shut the fuck up chants were back in full force. So I'm like, good, you're getting you're getting it back around. And of course, they alluded back to, and this was another thing. I hate to go back to it, and I'm not gonna go fully into it, but the Meltzer thing where he said they turned MJF heel. He's always been heel. Like, come on now. Like, it's just like he's been, again, the greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing convincing the world he didn't exist. So,
but even then, right, we're talking about going deeper. If you watch the press conference after, MJF turned quotation to back heel in it by saying, you stupid idiots thought that I was sincere in being this good guy for the last couple of weeks.
Yes, I'm like, so, and just the way that they tied back into the whole email that Regal sent and, how he blew him off and let him down. But then it's like, it goes back to the email where he's like, I can help you if you need it. And, let go of the Dynamite diamond and trade it in for grabbing the brass ring, and which, became the brass knuckles. And in turn became his demise because he turned his back to MJF and he got the old 1-2 and Regal's down for the count. And if that's how he's going to be ridden off television and potentially Kimmy be written out of the company, then that was an interesting send-off. They had Danielson come out and do the very convincing acting with
I think that's a seed planted.
The whole,
me too.
The sorrowful, like, concern. Danielson came out with one shoe on. Yeah. Like, it was legit. Like, he came out there at a moment's notice, went in the ambulance with him. But yeah, MJF came around full heel again and let the world know exactly what he is. And that's a giant piece of shit. And I love it.
Yeah, Kyle, talk about your favorite line of the night from Tony Schiavone that popped you huge.
God, because I was watching, but at the same time, like, I kind of just waiting for the segment to be finished and him going on a stretcher and then moving on. And, you're watching the screen at the same time you're not watching the screen. And then all of a sudden, all I hear Tony Schiavone go, man, we got to do something about this piece of shit. I'm like, what? This was on air? I looked up to make sure they didn't think they were in commercial already. I'm like, oh no, this was meant to be said. It threw
Kyle,
me right off.
He was crying, laughing for at least a good 60 seconds after.
I remember
that.
Kyle hears things and sees things like a couple of seconds before us. So he was like, oh my God, wait till you guys hear it. So there was like a 5-second delay and then we heard it.
It was messed up. But anyways, it was an interesting segment. I agree with Jack. It could have been a little shorter. Felt a little bit too long. They probably could have cut some pieces out and kind of done that a little faster. It was, I like the ending too. I like that he played back into the promo battle that they both had. And I think the seed planted with Danielson was great. Obviously, that's probably going to be a big feud, probably going maybe into Revolution. Maybe they've planted the seed now because it's all about long-term storytelling in this company. Could be Revolution, could be, hell, could be even Double or Nothing. They stretch these stories big, and the payoffs are always nice, so that'd be cool. That would be cool if Danielson's the one that dethroned MJF, too. I know it's good. You know, everyone ultimately wants Wardlow, but an in-between story until we get there, a Danielson feud is also really cool. But it's so weird that if this was a write-off, I don't know. I know they had to do something because of what they did at the pay-per-view, but it's like you didn't know at the pay-per-view that he was going to leave.
Yeah.
So then why even do that turn at the pay-per-view? You know what I mean? Like, why couldn't they just been disappointed and just
it was a weird timing.
I mean, just have been disappointed at the pay-per-view and then walked out and then we didn't see him again. It was just, I don't know. It seemed very strange, which again ties into making me think that he's not actually gone, but I'm not going to believe it until I see it. And if he's like, I mean, it's not that we can't see it because the rumor is he's going to a backstage role in the WWE. It's like,
listen, I won't believe it.
But if he is
War Games,
but like if he comes back in a backstage role, WWE doesn't really announce like backstage role signings. You know what I mean? It gets fed through the system a little bit, and even at that point, sometimes it's not true.
Well, he might be going back to like his on-screen role in NXT too. Like the only thing I had heard was that he was definitely going to be like the head of scouting, which is what he was doing before he came to AEW anyway.
Well, if he goes back to NXT, can he start booking it too? Because Jesus fucking Christ.
I'll make sure to tell him.
Shawn Michaels.
I don't know. Something seems fishy still to me. I'm gonna wait. But
so Carrie makes up a good point in the chat. She said because Regal went out on his back, putting over MJF as the biggest villain. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Last thing he does in AEW is cement that MJF is the villain in the company.
Yeah. Okay.
You see it like that.
I think it's a drop ball if he leaves. But if that's his decision, it's his decision. That's all I'm gonna say about that. I see it the way I've seen too much Regal shit this week to even want to talk about it anymore. I'm so fed up at this point about it.
Well, any final thoughts, Kimmy?
So I was gonna say that you have to really pay attention to the MJF promo because I saw this on Twitter. He used what Daniel Bryan said in WWE. He used fickle. He has his own title, which is also something Daniel Bryan did when he had the Planet Championship. So there's those seeds of, is this going to be the match at Revolution? It probably is, but I was like, oh my God, yes. Easter eggs. I love it. I love the callback to the brass rings because that's a call to WWE. I love the whole circle to the emails. I thought that was really cool too. I watched this promo twice. I really like this segment. I do agree it was a little long, but it's what I expected because this was his first time on TV as champion. I thought his suit was really funny because it said "better than you" all over it.
Conor McGregor got the same suit, and his said it said like "fuck off" or "fuck you" on it.
Yeah, it did.
It's an expensive suit. It's expensive.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
I appreciate MJF.
Yeah,
trying
MJF's
to get
using
the
that
custom
10-year deal he already signed. He's using that money he signed for.
Oh yes, the bidding war of 2034.
Yeah.
But I appreciate MJF trying to be like Seth Rollins with the custom suits, but Rollins will always do it better. But I really like this segment. I thought it really cemented. Am I not allowed to like the segment, Kyle?
No, he's not trying to be. No, go ahead. He's not trying to be like Rollins.
It was a joke. It was a joke.
No, it was your inner. It was your inner fandom breaking out while you're trying to talk like a podcaster. It's like, oh, but I got to make sure I make this about Seth Rollins.
Yeah, please. You got to make this about Seth all the time.
About Stephanie Rollins.
Yo, that TikTok had me dying. Anyway, but yeah, I like this segment. I can't wait to see what MJF does next. I think his match with Ricky Starks and Winter is coming is going to be really good too. And it's just a matter of time to see who wins that Diamond Battle Royal next week to see, is Ricky going to be the one to get the ring?
And not the
is
title.
Someone else?
Yeah,
no,
possibly,
because
it's a weird. That whole thing is so
weird,
and we'll spend so much time next week talking about how.
Okay.
Because if you win the Battle Royal, you get a shot at the ring against MJF, and then if you beat him, you get a shot at the title whenever you want. but why would they have you beat the champ before it's fucking complicated and stupid.
Saying. Like,
I don't know
does
what's
that
happening.
does that mean that, like, if Ricky were to win, he gets 2 matches against MJF?
Yeah. Or does who knows? I don't know what's going on. It's just weird.
I'm confused.
The diamond ring.
I don't
is
think
just-
Ricky's
they should.
gonna win.
That should have just been won once, and MJF just keeps it forever.
That was it. Yeah, that's all it should have ever been.
But
now something that's great that happened that I don't want to waste any more time, because we talked about Moxley and Hangman, and we talked about the negative side of it, but I want to talk about the good side of it because it leads into a very highly anticipated match for this whole crew, especially one person who we know is on this show. Can't wait to talk about it. She's starting to smile already. I see it. Her trying to fight her smile over there. So, Jackie, talk about Moxley and Hangman first, but then I want you to get into Dax and Bryan afterwards.
So, nothing could have prepared me, first of all, for the fact that they were going to start off on that Moxley segment, which I had thought was just going to lead into more Moxley, MJF, Danielson kind of like discourse, or like some more Moxley Regal stuff. But Moxley comes out and he's, doing his whole self-hype thing. And he's like, I used to wrestle around this parts. It's been a crazy ass ride. And, I love how he's like, 3 things are certain in this life: death, taxes, and John Moxley. And, nobody back there can, he's like hyping himself up. Nobody back there can hang with me. And then all of a sudden the music hits and out comes Hangman Adam Page. And my heart just freaking explodes because I was not anticipating. And I say this all the time, I love when shit doesn't get spoiled for me. Because I'm like, there was no leak. There was no like, oh, well, Hangman was spotted backstage, or like Hangman could be in the area, at least not that I saw. So when he came out there, I was hyped. And Moxley hit that great line, and he's like, are you sure you want to do this after what happened last time? And he's like, oh, I'm sorry. Do you not remember what happened last time? Kind of like hinting back to the concussion and whatever. And the two of them just start going ham at each other. Freaking like, let's go. Because I mean, I know that they kept throwing in the jabs like on commentary, like, oh, well, he's not cleared. We know that he would, he went with medical and he's not cleared to compete. But I mean, realistically, if he's out there throwing punches and getting into brawls, he's good.
He's cleared. Yeah, exactly. They don't really let you out to the ring. Unless
I'm sure he's not going to be out there freaking, brawling and going crazy if he's not.
Yeah, this isn't the Matt Hardy, Sammy Guevara match, right? They've learned their lesson in this company.
But yeah, it's always like Hangman Adam Page is one of my favorite people in AEW, and just to see him back and knowing that he's healthy and potentially ready to go, that just, I'm so excited for that. Ooh. So that was a hell of a way to freaking kick off Dynamite. And then, as if they couldn't let me breathe, apparently they went from like boom, like starting off hot like that, and then they went right into Dax Harwood versus Bryan Danielson. And let me tell you, that match gave me everything I could have possibly wanted out of life. It's like one of those matches where you just kind of had to sit back and just really enjoy it. And it didn't need storyline. It doesn't need all this like, lead into it or whatever. It's just, two people who really value the art of professional wrestling that are going to go in there and they're going to give you a freaking banger of a match. And that's exactly what they did from start to finish. I don't even know. Like, I could be here for freaking ever, but Dax suplexing Danielson straight into the crowd, and I'm like, where do I have to like freaking be to like, I'm like, how much do I have to pay to sit ringside to be there when freaking Dax is like, suplexing Danielson like straight into people's laps? Like, where do I have to pay to get a front row seat to that?
Why? So Caprice Coleman could be like, Dax suplexes Bryan Danielson into his own wife.
Oh,
what
my
a madman!
He's sick.
Jackie, just think, you and me could go to Final Battle next weekend, and we could have a really good time. Alicia do it.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, but then he'll be suplexing fucking the Gun Club into you. She
Oh,
doesn't want
please-
that. She
please
wants
don't
Danielson.
even-
That's the point.
Don't curse at me like that. But no, I mean, like they went in on each other. Danielson's chest looked like freaking ground beef, like it always does, because the two of them, their chop game is like freaking unmatchable. But the two of them going to the point of exhaustion and collapse, but neither one of them wanting to back down. I know, and and shout out to Floyd if he's still in the chat. If he's not, he'll go back and listen to the replay. He was like, just anticipate that this match is probably going to end in Dax tapping out, because that's been the trend of the year in his singles matches. But I didn't care. I'm like, it's not about the wins and losses here for me. It's about just being able to see a stellar match between two of my favorite competitors in AEW. And I think just we got that match for free, y'all. And it was freaking amazing. Start to finish, best match on the card. Should have been the freaking main event, if you ask me. But
So we have Ant in the chat saying Danielson is the greatest pro wrestler he's ever seen. The guy doesn't miss. And Dax is his wrestler of the
Wrong
year.
when QT
Yeah.
Marshall's
All
in the
great
company,
points.
Ant. Come on.
Oh my God.
Yeah, yeah, we know
Hey,
Ant
he's
loves
wrestling
QT.
tonight.
I
Yeah,
know.
watch
Greatest
Rampage.
pro wrestler on earth.
Rampage, Kimmy. Yeah.
but
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Dax
Rampage
Harwood
is so bad
WrestleMania,
it killed
baby.
Good Morning Elite.
Honda.
yo.
We all slept in a little later on Saturday, just how bad Rampage is. But no, I think it's great that they're giving these matches to Dax, because we're getting to that point of the year. And yes, it's opinion based, but I think that somebody somewhere, and I hope it's our show, because we do have our own yearly awards that are coming up again. The Elite POV Awards will be happening and the first show of the new year, because we don't want to get screwed over like last year when we did it too early and then we had Hangman versus Danielson not get nominated for Match of the Year when it was one of the best. So we want to make sure we get everything in the year. But like, I think it's great that Dax deserves his flowers this year. Not only has FTR been the best tag team of the year, which is crazy because the Usos are over there having a great run in WWE, right? We see all the great stuff that's happening in other companies, whether it be Impact or New Japan and stuff like that. But FTR has had unbelievable matches this year against just so many different opponents, so many times with those opponents, and those matches are still great. So it's cool that we get Dax and Danielson, which yet again, 2 years ago, you would be like, cool, I guess. But now you're like, oh no, when they announced this match, everyone in the wrestling community that we know was super excited, because we know the year that Dax is having, and we know Danielson is one of the greatest ever, if not the greatest ever. Dax said it in his interview with Sean Ross Sapp that Danielson might be the greatest wrestler of all time. It's time to start having really putting thought into that conversation. His body of work over the last 2 years alone is untouchable, really. At the rate that he's performing, it's insane in both companies. But it's great to see another incredible match for free on Dynamite to kick off the show that bleeds imperfectly, like Jackie said, with the opening segment with Moxley and Moxley and Hangman. But what'd you think of everything, Kimmy?
So starting with Hangman, he was at WrestleCade. I remember texting one of my other wrestling friends. I'm like, Hangman looks really good. I don't know if he's cleared or not, but he's looking healthy. He's looking good. I think he's going to come back soon. And he did. He came back on Wednesday. So I was like, yeah, Kimmy. I thought the opening promo was really good. What? Okay, Kyle.
Nothing,
that was
go ahead,
about
keep
insider
going.
information.
Keep
That
going.
was
Kyle, you're such an
purely-
older brother, and I love it.
He's the
Kimmy's
worst.
like, yeah, he's something good, and Kyle's like, Mark.
But I thought the promo was really good. I like the back and forth, and I can't wait for the match whenever it does happen, whether it be Winter or Coming Revolution, whatever the hell we're gonna do. I think after the Speedball Mike Bailey match, I was like, oh my god, how is Dax gonna go from that to him versus Bryan Danielson? If you guys did not see that match at
banger.
WrestleCade, it
Banger.
slapped. The ending was fantastic. I was like, oh my god, I think it's gonna go to a tie, and it didn't, thank god, but it slapped. I recommend that match. It was so freaking good, and I think Dax really has delivered this year. He is definitely one of my nominees for Wrestler of the Year, Promo of the Year, anything of the year. Dax has really shown out this year, and I couldn't be more proud because, in WWE, he was just known as that tag team guy, but now it's like, oh my god, Dax is wrestling a singles match. Hell yeah, it's going to be the match of the night, and everyone's really excited about it. But this match was really good, and I'm really happy that it opened Dynamite.
Any final thoughts, Kyle?
I don't know what much else I can say. Sorry, you said I just know that you guys are all wrong. Sting is definitely wrestler of the year, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Oh,
I mean,
Sting is definitely going to be the one to come
Yeah.
out and help Bow Wow against Jade.
Yeah, I mean, Hangman coming back was really cool. That feud is going to be excellent. Looks like, I mean, they could, if they want to, they could drag that out until the pay-per-view and have like a really big pay-per-view match, like some sort of stipulation type match. That'd be really dope. And then, yeah, Dax versus Danielson. I mean, we knew it was going to be a really good professional wrestling match. It was a really good professional wrestling match. We got everything that we wanted for and more. And then even some point out in the chat, the little tease at the end, Dax was just pretending to walk by. Danielson turns around and gives him a hug. It was great. It was awesome. Good for Danielson, man. He's been wanting to do stuff like this for a long time, and be more professional wrestling than anything else, and that's what he's getting his opportunity to do. One thing is here though, and it kind of ties into what we've already talked about. What happens to the BCC now with the Regal gone? Like, are they just going to still be what? I mean, Regal's the one that brought them together. Regal's the one that called it the BCC. So, like, what happens?
Yeah. And then with the stuff with Claudio and Yuta, like with the JAS and Final Battle, if Claudio doesn't win, he joins the JAS, which I'll put my fucking head through a wall.
I think it's going to happen now.
Yeah, probably, right? I just think that, like, is this the ending to the BCC, which would personally get me mad, not because they ended, right? Groups start and end in AEW all the time. I don't think no group ending will ever get me madder than the Pinnacle, because, like, you have a modern day Four Horsemen and you have a modern day, I mean, I know MJF is more like Piper than he is Flair, but you guys understand, like, a modern day Flair in the sense of a leader of this group, right? And MJF is fantastic in the ring and fantastic on the mic. And you have Wardlow and FTR and Shawn Spears. You have these great wrestlers. And yet again, to kind of go back to the Dax interview with Sean Ross Sapp, which you guys should listen to, he talks about how they pitched for Serena to be in the group. Like, he wanted Serena to be there. And it's like, you have this excellent wrestling group that will make people like Jackie, like, the happiest they've ever been in their life, because they, like, want to give us incredible wrestling every time they go out there, and you do nothing with them. But, like, with the BCC, in every interview that not only Tony Khan, but, like, Mark Henry and Paul White and all these people do, oh, the BCC could be as big as the NWO, and they hyped it and they hyped it and they hyped it, and to now kind of throw it all to the wind because Regal potentially is going back, and now you're like, never mind, Claudio, you're gonna go over there, and Yuta, good luck. Maybe go back to the best friend, see if you can get TV time now. And then Danielson will.
I think both Yuta and Claudio are probably gonna go to Ring of Honor when that starts up,
which is fine.
Yeah.
But, like, as BCC, they're one of the highest merch sellers. If you go to shop AEW or Pro Wrestling Tees, their shirts are trending as one of the highest ones every single time. Their merch is super cool, super awesome merch. Ton of people, you go to the shows, they're all wearing it. It's like a cool thing in wrestling, right? The Blackpool Combat Club, like, how fucking badass is that?
I saw someone joke.
Great name.
I saw someone joke. It said Shane McMahon's going to come in and take Regal's spot. I was dying when I read that.
Please, no.
But I mean, at the same time, like, do they get someone to replace Regal?
No, I don't think they're going to break up. I think what's going to happen is, so I'm going to bet money on the fact that next week we're going to get the Ring of Honor deal announced, and that's not like me, like, saying, oh my God, I heard it. Like, I'm just guessing. Like, I don't think we would have had a Final Battle if they did not have a TV deal in place for 2023. I think that Claudio is going to beat Jericho. I think Claudio is going to be the face of Ring of Honor, and him and Yuta are going to go down there, which also means Daniel's going to lose, and I'm going to be really upset about it. And then Moxley and Danielson are going to stay in AEW, like, up in AEW, and when they need to align, they'll come back together. But I think they're just going to split up in, like, 2 and 2, not just all 4 individually.
So Carrie just sent me something interesting. Said the original BCC concept was for Moxley and Bryan Danielson to be based around the early 90s All Japan, with BCC being Jumbo, whoever. I don't want to butcher the name. Okay. Well, basically, they got over young guys by facing them on a way to the top, with having great singles, tags, and trios matches with them. to help them rise. So maybe that's what they're going in, to get away from the Regal stuff and be just what they did to Yuta, just to do to more people.
It's
and
tough.
Maybe like Kyle said, that's the way to get Claudio out because he's kind of bigger than the group.
It's tough too with Moxley and Danielson right now because there's still that, someone mentioned, I think it was Ant, there's still that tension between those two because of the Regal situation, right?
Yeah.
Like Danielson's defending Regal. Regal's the one that cost Moxley the belt. So they still got, I think they're still have to visit that tension again. Like that's not really, they haven't really resolved that fully, I guess I could say. But it's a very interesting situation with the BCC now to if capital I, capital F, if
Got it.
Regal's going to the Fed. We'll see. But regardless of that, great match between Danielson and Dax. Fantastic. Give us FTR versus the World Tag Team Champions soon, Tony Khan, or those boys are gone.
We're going to know tonight who the Acclaim's next opponents are, and I am terrified to find out that it's probably not going to be FTR. So fuck us, because
I don't think it is.
Right?
The only reason I don't think it is because I think we're going to find out who FTR is facing at Final Battle next week because we need to build to that because there's only 3 matches announced.
Yeah,
and we're still missing.
Well, then it's going to be someone that's going to be. It's going to be a very, very, very short 2-week feud with the Acclaimed, and they're going to win.
Yeah.
No,
they're going to be. They're going to face whoever they announce tonight is going to face them at Winter is Coming, and then the Acclaimed are going to win.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it'll be something short, like when they face the varsity.
So it's going to be the Dark
Order.
What they're called? So it's going to be.
It shouldn't be. They just lost.
No, I don't know who it would be. I can't think. Maybe it's 10 and
how about
Rush.
this? How about this?
Or the Butcher and the Blade.
And fucking Blade. Can we, for the love of God, give them any type of TV time, please? And they could lose, and it'll be okay. I promise you, it'll be okay. But can you imagine the just pure comedy gold we're gonna get of having the bunny with daddy ass on the outside, her trying to scare him?
Or you know what? How about no feud?
Like,
Hold on. How about no feud? How about they go to the ring, and they're gonna announce like who they're gonna face, and House of Black just comes and kicks their ass. And just
what members would you like to see?
No, they don't face him. They don't face him.
Like just destroy him.
They don't face him.
I mean, I'm never gonna be mad at seeing House of Black.
Because I guarantee you the story. I know they have to do something with them. Then now they're back. I'm sorry.
What?
I just pop because I can see both chats, and someone in our YouTube chat. I'm sorry. Someone in our YouTube chat named Sammy Guevara just put, "Yo, fuck everyone, I'm the greatest. Let's talk about that."
Sammy, what's up? What's up, Sammy Guevara?
Yo, you remember us from All Out at FanFest?
Yeah, remember us on your long ass line.
Anyways,
Tell Ty we said what's up.
But yeah,
exactly.
House of Black. What the hell? They came back. They beat the crap of what? QT Marshall and the gang and the Best Friends, but
I think they're waiting till the best of seven.
But that's like not until like mid-January.
Yeah,
but you can't just have them not on television a week after. Like it's weird that they came back. They were even in the commercials and stuff like that, in the lead up to Dynamite, and then they weren't on the episode. I was like, where's the House of Black?
So I was talking to this kid Ivan that I work with, and he made a good point because I know me and Carrie were kind of complaining about how they didn't do any kind of I can't think of the word, but they didn't like go back and talk about Penn turning on the Dark Order. They didn't show a clip of it. They didn't mention it on TV. We didn't get to hear anything from 10 in the ring or backstage. And what the guy Ivan at my job said is so heartbreaking, but it's so true. Just like House of Black, it's a Rampage storyline. So guess what? We're only going to see it on Rampage. So we're going to have to sit through the horrific matches tonight.
Although we did see like a 15-second, we did see a 15-second like small vignette on Dynamite this week about them. They did show it.
House of Black?
Yeah, they did show it. It was 15 seconds.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying, like, we're going to have to, it's going to be like, the House of Black speak on Rampage. Like,
Yeah.
oh my God. I got to get through a QT Marshall match, a fucking Cole Carter match, and then a fucking stupid Jeff Jarrett match.
You know
Like,
what? We know
come
Tony
on,
Khan
bro.
listens to the show. We know. What's up, Tony? Tony Khan, next week, Dynamite, because we know you're announcing matches. You know, make a quick edit for tonight. Next week, give us House of Black, all three members against AR Fox and Top Flight. Just give us a random trios
if
match.
Dante Martin's not hurt.
If Dante Martin's
Yeah.
not
Do we have any? Do we have any like?
trios?
No. Do we have any
Or you know
like
what? Best friends, because you know they got attacked.
Yeah, there you go. That's perfect.
Rock Romero's still
Do
here.
we have any like? Do we know what's wrong with Dante Martin, Kimmy?
No, because my insider is on the Disney cruise and he's coming back today.
Okay.
The
So
insider's
he's been
insider.
texting me. Yeah, my insider
Well,
was like, "So what's
so-
going on?"
So the other match, I mean, listen, Ricky Starks had a match, but honestly, it was a squash match. Who cares? We're excited to see him face MJF. That's going to be a lot of fun. But as far as the match, I don't know why the fuck it happened, especially since he's entering himself in that battle royal and the stuff with the firm and Ethan Page. And it's like, we will complain
You know what,
enough
Phil?
about that.
How about
next week.
this? How about this? You can answer
Yes.
Sammy Guevara in the chat. So he put now. No, let's talk about me. What do I do next? So what does Sammy Guevara do next, Phil?
I would like to see Sammy Guevara, I said this on the show either last week or the week before, be off TV for a little bit,
Ooh.
just a little bit. Let them build tie. We're going to definitely talk about the 2 women segments now. Just reminding me of the Ruby stuff. So I want Sammy off TV so they can build Ty back up as a legit contender for each title, right? We've seen her face Britt at Full Gear for the women's title. We've seen her face Jade at Revolution for the TBS title. So, you know what I'm saying? It's an ascendant. I've had heat with Sammy, bro. Where have you been at? But Sammy's a cool guy. But it's one of those things where it's like, Sammy is too talented for them to keep shoving him down our throats where people are never going to get over the fact that he ended up marrying Ty. Like, I'm sorry at home. You didn't have a shot. Who gives a fuck what they do in their personal lives? You didn't have a shot to marry Sammy's ex or Ty. So just sit the fuck down and shut up, right? As a wrestler in the ring, Sammy is not only been called a pillar of the company, which he is, but he's one of the best wrestlers they have. He always delivers fun matches. He always steps up in these huge moments and does something you've really never seen before.
Yeah, 100%.
But it's like, I need him off TV and we need to build Ty. And we could transition to this. So we got Willow versus Anna, which was a fun match. But, you know, Ty comes out with Anna, which was great because we saw Ty was in the hospital. So hopefully whatever she was going through, it's all good now. But we get the return of Ruby Soho, who attacks Ty, which is great because for people watching at home for the first time, why didn't they give us more context? But for the fucking intelligent people who either A, watched it happen live, or B, went back and did their research, you understand that the last time we saw
Meltzer.
Ruby, the last time we saw Ruby was in the buy-in for All Out, where she got hurt during the Sammy and Ty mixed tag match with Ruby and Ortiz, where she broke her nose and had to get surgery on it, and now she's back. Kimmy, are you excited that Ruby's back? And are you excited for me that maybe, hopefully, possibly, cross my fingers and toes, that Ty is getting an actual storyline for herself?
She looked pumped, so I think
excited for
says. I'm going to say yes, because she looked really pumped.
So
I'm excited.
I'll say something to make you happy, and then I'll go into everything else. I think that's going to be the Winter's Coming match.
Okay.
I think. Don't get so excited
Wow.
because I'm only right
It's too late.
40% of the time.
20% of the time.
Keep that in mind.
15.
I thought, we're up to 50 now?
15.
Okay, cool.
1-5.
15.
Oh,
15.
wait, what?
You're so bad at math.
15.
Drop, man.
Listen, I'm a sports major. Anyway,
Oof.
I really think that this match showed a couple things. One, how much time they're really investing in Willow. And Willow was somebody that when Ring of Honor Women's Tournament, Maria literally told me flat out, she's like, watch Willow. She is going to be the future of this business. And she was right. So that's one thing. I think the other thing too, you can see how much Anna has definitely improved. I think she's a lot more confident in the ring. I really like this match. I thought it was really good, and I like that it got time. But
they got a lot more time than we thought too, because I was over here like, there's no fucking shot that main event is getting less than half an hour, and it did. So
But I think the thing with Ruby is it after that storyline with Ty, it's kind of tough where she goes because as long as Jade is TBS champion, I don't think she goes that route because I don't think she has the momentum to even have a shot to go against Jade. And I think going against Jamie again is like she has no momentum with her. So I think the problem is going to be that there's going to be nothing for her to do, which is why I'm really going to suggest that Ruby's one of the people that go down a Ring of Honor. And when Athena hopefully wins that title next week against Mercedes, that Ruby's the first challenger for Athena. Because I think that's the best spot for her.
I don't want her to keep losing title matches. Maybe her and Ty have a longer feud that leads to another bloody match like Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker had. Because remember, people forget because, it's so easy to remember Ty is just Sammy's arm candy from the last year that we've seen her on TV. But, Ty and Anna had that feud with Bunny and
Penelope.
Ford. I don't know, I forget her name. That's why Penelope needs to be on TV more often. I'm over here forgetting her name. But
I believe she got hurt again.
Oh my God, Jesus Christ! We need to put her and Kip in a bubble and protect them forever because I love those two. But we get Anna and Ty versus Bunny and Penelope in that crazy hardcore tag team match. So maybe her and Ruby are going that route, which would be a lot of fun. I'm just saying, it's something to be excited for. Jackie, am I wrong for being excited? Please don't break my heart.
Yes.
No,
I know you're gonna break my heart, Kyle.
No, I'll leave that breaking your heart to Kyle. Kyle will be good for that. He likes to crush people's dreams out here.
Unless you're a security guard, they love you.
Hey, shout out to my security boys.
Yeah.
Thank you,
except Charlie.
Security.
Except Charlie. Kyle hates Charlie.
But that's for different reasons we won't get into here. No, I think it seems reasonable that that's where it's going. I don't know if you're saying don't crush your dreams in terms of having it be a long-term feud. But it's certainly the direction of it for the continuity factor. Yes, I'm glad that they went with it. They didn't just run from it. And they acknowledged that, hey, the reason why I was on the shelf was because I was in this match with you and your husband. And she came back to get her revenge, if you will. But I, again, was not expecting her to come back. Didn't have any inklings or, anything spoiled there. So it was really good and very surprising to see Ruby Soho back. And I'm happy for her. But we have said on this show week after week after week, we miss Ty being a regular competitor on AEW programming because there was a point where she had all the momentum in the world and it was a beautiful thing to see. So let her get back into a feud, let her have some banger matches, and let her remind everybody just how freaking good she is in the ring. So her versus Ruby could be a great feud. I would love it if they stretched it out past just like a winter is coming. Keep the feud going all the way to freaking Revolution. Why not? Why can't we have these long-term storylines for women? Just continue to do it. It's worked in the past with other people. You see if it's done with intent and it's done correctly, that it works and it pays off. So I think that they're capable of doing it. So the story is built in. Go for it.
Maybe, like Kimmy was saying, maybe it's the opposite of it in the sense of maybe you do this longer feud and maybe by some miracle, you're able to jumpstart the pop that Ruby had when she first came in the company. And with Ty being so hated by the fans because they thought they had a shot at dating her, which I'll never understand. But maybe this feud will get Ruby super over and people will want to see her beat Jaden. We know that Tony Khan and AEW love doing these longer storylines where they could be like, hey, remember A, B, C, and D that happened? Because Ruby and Jade was the finals of the TBS title tournament. So maybe that's their way of going back to it. So it's definitely something to look forward to. But Kyle, tell me why I'm an idiot. Tell me why I should not get my hopes up.
What?
Oh, no.
When do I ever? Okay, let's
No.
let's pump the brakes on this. I never do that to anybody. I'm excited for this. Have a Ty figure right up there. It's right up there. I wouldn't crush your dreams.
Mark, who would have one Ty figure, let alone two? Fucking Mark.
Who would get a Brazilian flag and put it on the figure?
I'm just more excited that there's
not this guy right here with it in the background.
But yeah, I'm just excited. There's more than one women's feud going on. There's multiple women's feuds across both shows, even the YouTube shows right now, which is great. And it's we've been asking for. So now we're getting it. It's exciting to see. So I mean, there's the blood feud there between Ty and Ruby. We know like the whole injury angle, and shout out to Sammy Guevara in the YouTube chat who says Ty gave her a free nose job, so she should be grateful.
Yeah, there you go.
Yo,
But,
living the gimmick,
yeah.
man.
But
Yeah.
anyways, Willow's
Imagine
also
it's Ashley Sammy.
I
That'd
laughed.
be fucking hilarious.
But I big Willow fan. I love her energy, like the whole
Oh,
entrance stuff.
man,
You see
she's
the people
great.
like dancing in the crowd to her theme song too. So I think
She could be everything to AEW that Bailey was to
Exactly.
NXT.
Yeah, exactly. It's exactly where I was going with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of sad to hear about Penelope if that is true, as she's injured again. That kind of sucks because she was just coming back and she was looking good too from her return. So, yeah, I can't really say much else. I'm happy, extremely happy. I think that's gonna be really. That's gonna be a really good match. Those two are gonna absolutely kill it. I can't wait for that.
Oh, so I just got confirmation from a good source that is actually Sammy Guevara in the chat.
From who?
Yo.
I'm
Kimmy?
not kidding either.
From Kimmy? Is Kimmy
No, from Kyle.
Oh.
From good information. It's
Oh.
actually them
Stop
watching.
it.
Oh, hi.
No freaking way.
Hi, guys. At least we... Happy that Sammy and Ty are watching.
Sammy, I thought you were a troll with that comment. I'm sorry.
Yeah. We thought you were a troll. Hey, at least you know our real feelings about you. We're not
Yeah.
fucking pretending when we go to the meet and greets. There you go.
God.
See, everybody, that's why you should always be genuine.
Yeah.
Because you never fucking know who's watching you on the other side of this camera.
Yo, I'm gonna
That
clip.
is fucking...
I'm definitely going back and clipping my reaction because my face when I seen the name, I'm like, what? Because like I'd be like, it's like some Ant would do. Ant would go in like creative profile and pretend to be someone in our chat.
I am screaming. What
Hey.
the hell?
So shout out Ty and Sammy for watching.
Yeah,
At least you know we're genuine people.
Yeah.
We don't just pretend to like you guys at meet and greets. We actually believe it. And
No.
we
I've
appreciate you
worked
guys
with
watching.
both of them.
This is why you guys need to be here in the live chat, YouTube and Twitch, for great moments like this. Right? This is the type of stuff you get when you watch our show. Where do we even go from here?
Yeah.
I'm flustered. My heart is racing.
yeah.
The main event. You can go to the main event. Do you
Oh
want me to
yeah,
go
shit,
over?
dude. We talked about everything
We
except.
want to
But-
make everything
All right, so we get the Elite versus Death Triangle in a trios match to end the show. Me talking all this shit to Kyle and Jackie. There's no way they're like the women are gonna be booked all at once within the next 5 minutes. How they booked the Jamie Hayter promo, the full entrance and match for Willow and Anna.
Hold on.
The
Sorry, Phil. Sorry to
What?
interrupt, but we can't talk about the main event. We got to talk. Quote from Sammy: "There wasn't enough talk about me winning the world title, but enjoying the show. So let's just
yeah.
screw the Elite, screw the Lucha Brothers. Let's
Yeah,
just
just
book
we just gotta
Sammy
talk
Guevara's
about-
world title run from now until the end of next year."
Yeah, we got to get it done. I want to see Sammy
Patreon
beat Jericho
exclusive
for the
content.
Ring of Honor title. Can we have that happen?
I said
All right,
that
we-
weeks ago on the show, but it didn't
That's
come
what I'm
true.
saying, bro. I'm saying, can we have Sammy
Because
win that
I
title?
was right.
We love you, Sammy, but you know what I mean. We both know MJF ain't losing that title for at least a year, so we can have you win that Ring of Honor title very quickly. All right, instead of having you wait a year to get you to become a world champion. All right. I'm just saying.
10% right. Isaac. It's not true.
Yeah. But no, so I was talking all this shit. How are they going to book 3 women segments and then still have the main event be a banger and go super long? And it was a banger. I mean, when I'm wrong, and I'm usually wrong. I'm like Kimmy when it comes to this stuff, right? But it's like, it's one of those
Right.
things where it's like, it's another banger match, and it was different. I know people said that, you know, they're kind of getting tired of the match, which is crazy because the match started different. It started with a brawl. And then we get these unbelievable things. And I know with the whole Punk stuff in the press conference, you know, we see a lot of people say this on Twitter, but it's like, yo, Kenny Omega is back. All right. I know we've said this the last 2 weeks, but the bumps that Kenny is taking make me want to pass out. All right. This dude is landing on every side of his neck. it is just unreal, the bumps that he's taken in this match. And of course, the Lucha Bros are amazing. And of course, the Young Bucks are amazing. But like Pac and Kenny, like I could watch these two fight forever. Wednesday we're watching the show, and me, Jackie, and Kyle are talking about if there was like an AEW network, right? If when they do this HBO Max Discovery Plus thing, if they're gonna have us be able to go back and watch the matches, and it's like the first match, what would be the first match you watch? And mine was Pac versus Kenny in that Iron Man match, right? So it's one of those things where it's like I could watch these guys fight, make them fight every week. I'm upset we have to wait 2 weeks to see the next match. But Jackie, what did you think of this as a main event to end a great Dynamite?
Well, even though I made my little jab earlier about how I thought that Dax versus Danielson should have been the main event, no, this match was freaking insane. And we know that every time you see the Elite versus Death Triangle, that it is going to be a freaking nuts. I think I need to take something, like, I don't want to say like the D word or like the drugs word, but I guess I have to, because if I say the other D word, it's going to be suggestive.
I'm not even laughing at you.
But,
Sammy keeps popping me in the chat. I'm sorry.
So
I'm trying to stay composed and I keep
You're
reading.
the only one who
If
can
he's
see the
taking
YouTube chat.
over, yeah, we can't see the YouTube
I'm
chat,
looking
so.
at it.
I'm trying to stay composed. He just keeps popping. He's like, no, Sammy
Unbelievable,
versus
Kyle.
everyone is the correct answer.
Is the correct
Oh
answer.
my
Okay.
god. Oh
Hi.
my lord. Anyway, so I'm saying I might need to take some substances to be able to slow my brain down enough to like actually take in everything that happens during these matches, because it's like everywhere you look, there's like 50 million spots happening at the same time. And it's so brilliantly chaotic. And everywhere you look, somebody looks like they're taking a bump, like they're going to die. And it's just like Nick Jackson flying off of, like off the stage and doing a crossbody, Pac jumping off the stage and doing a freaking moonsault, and Kenny taking bumps, like you said, taking bumps on his neck that you're like, is he gonna like freaking break his neck? Like it's straight pandemonium in these matches. And normally that is not my speed, but the way that these guys do it, it's brilliant. And
Wait,
I
so
think
are we
that
saying breaking news? FTR girl, the woman who's the master of technical wrestling, likes the flippy dippy shit? Is that what you're telling me right now?
I have always
Wow.
appreciated.
You are no longer FTR girl 4269269.
Wow, are you telling me that
No.
Jackie Strowman liked the flippy match?
Jackie
Don't
Stroma?
But don't you dare ever freaking associate my name with that
Oh.
freaking dude. Don't you ever. I will reach through my screen and we will freaking throw hands. I
Jackie,
can't
Can I
even
we
confirm?
made peace. We made peace like Dax and Danielson. We shook hands and we hugged after threatening to V-trigger each other for a whole weekend.
Nah. I will freaking throw, like Ascendant said, I will throw a chancleta through this freaking
Oh,
through the
Oh.
screen. No.
You tell
You're,
him.
you're
I'm
not
scared
doing
now.
it.
Chancleta.
Man. But no, yes, I have an appreciation for many types of wrestling. Thank you very much. And no, this was
Oh, you're the best of us.
No, this is the main event was
I
great.
only like
and
big. Look at the hoodie I'm wearing. Look at the hat I'm wearing. I only like big,
like
meaty
big
men
meaty men slapping me.
Okay, and I know we didn't talk about the Wardlow segment because who cares?
Because head booker Carey talked about it enough in our text messages for all of us to enjoy.
Yeah, exactly. Me and Carrie already fanned ourselves over the Wardlow segment.
But I know that y'all were very adamant in thinking that this series was going to go 3 for Death Triangle straight in the beginning, but we got the Elite with their first win this week. So, surprise, surprise.
Well, I will say this. We love Kenny Omega here. Big marks for Kenny Omega here. All of us, all right? I don't know if
Screw
is,
Kenny
but I know the
Omega.
three of
It's
us are.
all about Sammy Guevara. The guy in the chat right now, fuck Kenny Omega. Fuck the Okada matches. It's all about Sammy Guevara
So it's all
matches.
Sammy.
Give
right?
him all the stars, Meltzer. Give him 8-star matches. Damn right.
All right, so there's one thing I need to say as the sports guy. Kenny, we love you, bro. A 2-1 is not a reverse sweep, okay? A reverse sweep is when it's 3-0 and you come back and win. Okay, that Kenny, I love you, bro. Maybe they didn't teach you that in Canada. Maybe do hockeys have reverse sweeps? I'm sure they do. They have 7-game series. Like, what's going on?
They do.
Kyle?
Confirmed. Yes.
Yeah, what's happening?
As a Canadian
right?
here,
Kyle's
there is
Spotify wrap up is all hockey podcasts and us. So it's one of those things where it's like,
it literally is that my top 5 podcasts are like hockey, than us.
yeah,
Such a mark.
even get
I'm such a mark. I
Gotta
listen to my own
reverse
show.
What do you mean you didn't even get one?
I didn't get a podcast one, remember?
You don't.
Oh yeah, you didn't get us on yours. You didn't have any at all.
No, I didn't have any podcast at all.
Wow.
Mine
It's
was
just
just
Kimmy
music.
listens to every podcast she listens to live.
Too much
She's a
Taylor
real
Swift,
fan.
you know.
No, Taylor Swift was not even in mine. My
Wow.
age range, everyone was Taylor Swift's like 0.5 top listener in America. And then there's me, no Taylor Swift song at all. And I'm just like, I'm different than everyone my age.
Wait,
You
did any?
losers.
So Jackie, did you do it? Did you do one? Do you have Spotify?
Wow.
No.
All right, so I just want Kyle. I don't remember if you had. I know you had like Falling in Reverse and stuff, but like, am I the only Mark on the show who got AEW wrestling as his number 2? Like, clearly, I'm listening to wrestling music all day long.
No,
I had no wrestling
I
music
did not.
whatsoever.
Mine was filled with the Weekend stuff because I absolutely love the Weekend. So
Mine was Becky G
Yeek.
and wrestling. I mean, listening to Ty's theme, I guess at work. Like,
you're doing her little dance down the ring.
yeah, every time, bro. As soon
Why
as the
don't
song
you-
comes on, I be thinking to myself, like, do I want to embarrass myself right now? And I do it every time.
Can Ty come out to that like with the flag and the paint again? Like even if
I hope
even
so.
if the match that winner is coming, just do that exact entrance. That's honestly
Every time. I have
one of the
picture
greatest
right
entrances
here,
ever.
right in front of me.
Yeah.
I have the figure in the background. I have the figure with the flag. So we out here. But Kyle, what'd you think of the trios match?
Oh, I mean, you got the Elite and Death Triangle. I mean, it's no Sammy Guevara match, but you got the Elite and Death Triangle in the main event. Match number 3 in the best of 3. We were wondering what was going to happen. Will they go 3-0? Are they going to do a reverse sweep? Stuff like that. You know what I mean? It was just exciting. It's exciting, right? We know you're going to be entertained watching their matches. You're almost now at this point watching like, hey, what are they going to do different? You know what I mean? What are they going to do in this match to get you to keep wanting to follow this series along? Because, a set, it could go, it may not go 7-match series. You know what I mean? They could do a big swerve and, I mean, now it's 2-1. Now it's guaranteed to go to 6 matches, right? So now it's fully a guarantee 6 matches.
Which was what? Does anybody still have that graphic? Where was the 6th match?
I don't even know.
Was it in Cali?
No,
the last one
one's
is-
in Cali. That's match 7.
No, I know that, but was the 6th? I didn't know if like because the last one was
So what, is it in
Revolution,
Seattle?
right?
No, the last one's not in Revolution. It's the second or third week of January.
I'm gonna look up the graph. I might still have it. In my
Anyways, we saw in the main event, we saw the match, right? We saw that there's that hammer spot, correct? We saw that, which confused me a little bit because it was like Phoenix
So
used
the
it.
Max 6, not to interrupt you, Kyle, is in Denver, Colorado.
Okay. Because
It definitely ended there.
so the last
New Year's Smash.
So hold up, match number 2 was it match number 1 at Full Gear? Phoenix to use the hammer, right, to win the match.
Yep.
Yes.
So what confused me about this match was that he was trying to get Penta not to use the hammer,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, but you just used the hammer in match number 1 to win your match. You're not really making sense anymore. You know what I mean? I don't know. It confused me a little bit. Regardless of that, great main event. You saw Kenny jump on the mic. I love how he asked how much time was left, and then you could hear it.
It's funny too because for people who don't have the privilege of watching wrestling with Kyle, Kyle's like, "Get him the mic! Get him the mic! He's calling for the mic! Get him the mic! Kenny's calling."
And you can hear the audible referee go, 20 seconds, Kenny. So he's got to say this in really fast time, so he's able to, put in a comment, you guys think you were going to do a reverse, or you guys think there was going to be a sweep? No, not happening. Reverse sweep time, and then do his little spiel. But I guess he got to talk after when the show went off air. There's a clip of him talking some more. But regardless of that,
And he said some very great things that
yeah, it is what it is. It's going to continue on. It's for sure going to go. It's going to go 7. We know the ultimate end game here is the Elite are going to win back the belts that they never lost. It's going to be in California, the Young Bucks home state. They're going to win him back, and then the lights will go out, and the House of Black will come out and confront them, and that's going to start their feud going into Revolution. So we know that's going to happen.
And let me say this.
Yeah.
If I will be at fucking, what's their stadium called? TD Bank Stadium? No.
What?
Whatever the hell the Jaguar Stadium's called. Okay.
Oh, okay.
What are the,
It's
like
some
TAA Bank.
It's like some sort of
Whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about. I will be at fucking Daly's place. Okay. If within 2 weeks of House of Black and the Elite looking at each other in the ring, if I don't get a Kenny Omega Buddy Matthews match on a Dynamite, yo, TK, you won't have to worry about scissoring your dad, because I'm gonna scissor you with something else, bro. Because we fighting for real.
Yeah, if
Give me this match, bro.
If we're not getting a Pac, hold up. Just like they did before the first Revolution with Pac and Kenny in an Iron Man match, you're giving us Kenny and Buddy in an Iron Man match.
Buddy and an Iron Man match. You're giving this to me, bro. Please, okay? And Buddy Matthews' first interview, whatever his name is, Murphy Matthews, all right? The new Irish band is coming out, all right? If this guy, in his first interview outside of the company, he said he wants to fight Kenny Omega. That's who he said. Okay?
Omega Kenny.
Give us what we want, bro. Give me what I want, please.
Omega is going to fight Omega Kenny.
Oh, my God.
Jesus, bro. Give me what we want.
Bernie
please.
Murphy.
Jackie's dying.
Murphy.
Hilarious.
Phil can't talk.
Give me what I want, bro.
POV, everybody.
I hope so. I really hope we get that. But anyways, yes, great main event. We're getting strapped for time a little bit. Let's dive into the Rampage preview for tonight, happening in almost.
Oh, the match was great, Kyle.
I was
The match was great.
Give me quick thoughts on the match.
The match was great. A lot of fun. Can't wait for the next one.
Yes, and give Sammy what he
Rampage
wants.
tonight.
Give Sammy a
Matthew
world
Murphy,
title match.
Dropkick Murphys.
Yeah.
And give Sammy a world title match before he 450s me at the next meet and greet, please, for my own safety.
He's like, yo, bro, just sit on this table for a second. I'll be right back. He comes back with a ladder.
Yeah, and just fuck it. Jesus. And then people start booing me.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, so listen, Rampage is on tonight. Some of the, and we love Orange Cassidy, right? I don't even know who Cole Carter is facing. Who's Cole Carter facing?
Darby Allin.
Darby Allin.
All right, we love Darby Allin. Who's fucking the idiot Jeff Jarrett facing?
It's Jarrett.
We know you're tuning in just for that match tonight, right, Phil?
Jarrett
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Jay Lethal versus Private Party.
Yes,
Oh
yes,
my fucking God, bro. If I was in that arena, do you know how fast I would get up? I would get up at, listen, we talk all the time. For anybody who's been to a live Dynamite, they tape Rampage afterwards, and there's always a talk. And I think I was at one show. Was it with you, Jackie, or was I with Issa? I think I was with Issa, where I was like, if Ty or Anna don't have a match, I'm leaving. And of course, Ty has a match, so I have to stay. And I'm super tired. But if they showed me this card, I don't even think I would have stayed for the main event. I would have been fucking out of there.
Yeah, you know what?
Bro, I don't even want to see.
Where's the Sammy Guevara match? Why is Jeff Jarrett on TV? Why is there not a Sammy Guevara match? He's right in the chat. Where the hell is his match?
Unbelievable.
Justice for Sammy.
Oh my God. And
Yeah,
then we
justice
get
for Sammy.
Why is it
Orange
QT
Cassidy
Marshall?
versus QT
Why is it
Marshall.
QT Marshall? Why is that not Sammy Guevara? What the fuck?
And we love Orange Cassidy. But stop trying to make the factory happen. All right. I love Aaron Solo, part of the vlog crew. Okay. I love Lee Johnson. He's awesome. I don't care about anybody else in the factory, right? Especially whoever the fuck Cole Carter is. All right. They've given this guy bigger, but Kimmy, they've given this guy bigger moments.
Swam with the fishes and you should have stayed there.
Kim Sabian, who opened the company with Sammy in the chat. That's how we bring everything full circle. Okay?
They're the first match. The first match
The first match in AEW history, and Kim Sabian had a fucking box on his head for a year, but Cole Carter is getting a match on fucking Rampage.
And QT
Cole Carter took the hood off,
hold up.
thinking that he was going to get a pop
Hold
from
up,
the
Phil.
crowd.
What did QT Marshall do to get an all-Atlantic title match? What the fuck did he do to get that title match?
He won a bunch of times.
He didn't do anything, Kimmy.
Oh my God.
That's your answer.
He didn't do
my
anything,
God.
bro. At least give it to the factory members, for the love of God.
No, none of them. Fuck all of them.
Yo. Shout out to Shanika who popped in just in time to like get in like when the chaos is ensuing here, girl.
Why is QT Marshall have a match? I'm sorry for any like whoever they are, the 1% of Factory fans that are out there in the crowd with a Factory T-shirt because you see them all over the place. No, you don't. But I'm sorry. Why is QT Marshall in a match?
Stefano, who lives in New Jersey, who's not still there a strong member of this podcast. He is the only person that we know that is a fan of QT Marshall in this world. Okay, that is it. The only person. So why is he getting a Rampage match? Because guess what? If Ann was there, he wouldn't be staying for Rampage anyway. Okay, he wouldn't be. To be honest with you.
Just saying,
this is just ridiculous.
Give Sammy Guevara his All-Atlantic title shot.
Yeah, please.
I'm dead.
Well, thank you for everybody who tuned in this week, especially Sammy and Ty, who, yes, people, it was the real Sammy and Ty in our YouTube chat. She did mention me. She did say that I could say it. And you guys know we interviewed her. We are friends with Sammy and Ty. So
Ty, come back on the show. Live. Let's do another interview.
Kyle, we're working on it. Okay. We're working on it on this end. They're gonna try to help us out to get them both on the show, which would be a lot of fun.
Give Sammy the belt. He says, give him the belt. Give him that. You can have this belt over here. You can have all these ones over here.
Please, I don't want to get 450 through a convention table. All right, those are like the Japan tables. They don't break. Please.
That is true. I would know.
All right, but so Kimmy, let everybody know where they can follow you.
You can follow me on Twitter at Kimmy_Sokol, SOKOL. Yeah.
Wow.
That's
Jackie, let them know where they can follow you.
You can follow me on Twitter at LoveYouMake24 and on Instagram at JacksTheDrawPOV.
Kyle, let them know.
You can follow me at Ollie Kyle. I'm not that exciting though, so just follow the podcast instead.
Yeah. And you guys can follow me unless Elon Musk fucking bans me again. I don't know what the fuck happened. I lost my account, and then I made a secondary account, and then they banned that one too. I don't know what I'm doing or why everybody hates me.
Stop tweeting at Elon Musk, man. What are you doing?
I was about to say, you gotta stop calling the dude out, man.
Yeah, what is happening, bro? I don't know what's happening. But follow me for the time being at FanboyPhillium on Twitter. Follow the show everywhere at Elite POV.
Hold up. And follow at Sammy Guevara and Ty Conti or Ty Mello on Twitter, please. Follow them, please.
Yeah.
Ty Mello and Sammy Guevara. Watch the vlog. It's on a hiatus right now. Make sure you guys go to YouTube, subscribe to them, and subscribe to us. YouTube.com/ElitePOV, Twitch.tv/ElitePOV, shop ElitePOV.com for the great merchandise that we have up there already and that will be coming. And then, of course, if you enjoyed this madness, if you enjoyed the chaos, four great friends talking about what they love, which is professional wrestling, and you could support us, any amount matters. Any amount helps. Patreon.com/ElitePOV and help us give back to the wrestling community and do some positive things and have fun and not worry about popping a rating or clickbaiting or any of these stupid ass things that happens or making fun of wrestling fans like Kimmy who wear a fucking Monday Night Raw shirt on an AEW show.
You
Kimmy.
said I didn't have to change.
Shame.
You're a hypocritical person.
So thank you guys.
Hold up, Phil.
For listening to another episode.
Okay,
Kyle, say it.
What?
No, go ahead.
No, it's okay. Go. I was just gonna say, make sure if I didn't mention already, follow Sammy Guevara on. On Twitter.
Yeah, please. Yeah. Don't get me beat up, right? All right. So, thank you guys for listening to another episode of Elite POV. And remember, you don't need a hat to wear a cowboy because I forgot what MJF's line is and I didn't want to butcher it.
Thank you. All right, I can't forget either. I can't remember either.
Because I'm better than you and you know it or
fuck
something.
You,
I don't know.
thank you. Bye.
Fuck you. Thank you. Bye.
There's a voice that keeps on calling me down the road. That's where I'll always be. Every stop I make a new friend. Can't stay for long, just turn around and I'm gone again. Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down. Until tomorrow I'll just keep moving on.
Nice work, everyone. Sharp broadcast. Really good. Everyone on the floor as well.